Hi Ladysmith area friends, I'm Jen from Ladysmith Park Recreation and Culture. Thanks for joining us. Today's movement activity is a resistance band workout. It is suited for anybody can do this one, including the youth. So this is definitely something we've done in the youth programs. It would be great if you get the youth involved in this program. Make sure you click on the link for the physical readiness questionnaire. Make sure you're healthy enough to do the program, and then we will start. We will start with a really quick warm-up. It's all strength, there's no cardio in this program. So we'll just do a little bit of a warm-up, get everything loosened up, and then we will start. So start with some arm circles, up, back, and around. Keep that core nice and tight. Good, and then we're gonna switch forward, thumbs are up. Good, feet hip distance apart. We're gonna go into a couple squats. We're not going too deep, we're just warming up to start. Hinging from your hips, weight is in your heels. Good, we're gonna do two more. And two, we're gonna come back up to the upper body, thumbs are up, and we're gonna do some little circles here. Good, now we're gonna go the other direction. Good, and then we're gonna go into a reverse lunge. We're gonna pretend we have a band here. We're gonna do a reverse lunge, stand it up, lat pull. Squeeze those elbows towards the back pocket. Step back. Remember, we're just warming up. It doesn't need to be deep. Good. Pull, belly nice and tight. Back to center. We're going to do some shoulder rolls, up, back, and around. Really big movement here. Up and around. Good. Good. Big inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Get those feet moving. Good. One more. Good, now we're gonna go into a side lunge, bending that knee, other leg is straight, bum goes back, chest is lifted. One more each leg. Good, okay, we're gonna get started. So we're doing supersets, so 2 exercises, 40 seconds each, and we will do them twice each, which if you have been doing these before and you wanna add a 3rd set at home, that's totally fine. So our first exercise, you're gonna stand on your band. A TheraBand works too. If you have TheraBands at home that don't have handles, you can use those as well. If you have one of these kind, you're gonna grab down on the material there. Chest is lifted. You're gonna do a row, stand up. Back into your squat, row, stand up. So that's exercise 1, 40 seconds. Go ahead. Make sure that chest is lifted, elbows go straight back, squeezing those back muscles. So I can turn to the side so you can see what that looks like. My back is nice and flat. Row, stand up. You want to make sure you're not rounded. Nice tight tummy. Good, we have 10 more seconds here. And then we'll go into exercise number 2. And stop. Exercise 2, you're gonna keep your feet on the band, cross the handles, and you wanna use the hip muscle here. You're gonna take 2 steps one way, 2 steps the other, or you can do 3, 4, whatever, as long as you're doing the same on both sides. Using those muscles, you don't want the knees knocking in. You really want to use those muscles, keep it nice and tight, some resistance on there. You want to make sure you're not really loose here. Okay, get ready and go. So I find for me, if I just pull up a little bit here, I get a bit more resistance. If you're feeling it without doing that, just leave it where it's at. 2, good. Slight bend in those knees. Make sure you're not locking them. Good. But another 15 seconds here. And stop. We're gonna go back to exercise 1, so it's your squat and row. So take a couple seconds, get yourself set up. You're gonna grab down below on this one, and go. Row, and up, good. Elbows straight back. Want to make sure they're not going out to the sides. Good. Ten seconds here. Those knees are behind the toes. And stop. Cross those handles. And we're going to go into exercise 2. So go ahead. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2. Good. Make sure you have some tension there. Don't let those knees knock in. Almost there. And stop. Okay, we're going to go into our next set of 2 exercises. So I'm going to give a modification here for the first one. The first one is a single leg deadlift. Now, if you can't do that, balance, you can have off days with your balance. I will give you a modification. So you're going to have one foot under the band. You're going to hold the band, not with the handles. The other leg is going to go straight back and come up. Tap that toe. Straight down. And now if you find you just can't do that, you can always keep that foot on the floor and still, you might need to grab a little further down. Or you can just do both at the same time. Back is nice and flat. You're hinging from your hips. Stand up. So we're not rounding from the side. My back is nice and flat. Okay, so that is exercise 1. Exercise 2, single arm shoulder press. You're going to stand on your band. The closer to the handle on the floor, the easier it's going to be. So you'll have to find a spot that works for you. You're going to turn that palm so it's facing out, core nice and tight. Come down. So you're going to come down, your arm will look kind of like a goal post there. You're not dropping all the way down. Press up. Keep tension on that shoulder. Second round, we switch arm and leg. Or if you're doing the double deadlift, just do both. Get ready. Deadlift first. So working the back of the leg. And go. Try to keep those hips nice and square, or as square as you can. We're all a little imbalanced. You might notice a little bit of twisting. Try to keep your hips as square to the ground as you can. Core is nice and tight. Back stays nice and flat. And stop. So I did my left leg, so I'm going to do my left arm. So find a spot on your band that works for you. And go. So belly nice and tight. If you need to adjust to make it easier, just step that foot away from that arm. Good. Press all the way up. Good. Belly tight. Make sure, try to keep everything as even as you can. Hips square. Almost there. And stop. Now we're going to switch to the other leg, or if you did double, just go back to that. Now you might notice one leg is quite a bit easier than the other. that's normal. And go. I did my good leg first, so usually we do. So you might find you're a little worse off on this side, and that's okay. Make sure you're on your band evenly too. Hips nice and square. Good. Back is flat. Good, almost there, a couple more seconds, and stop. Now we're gonna do the right arm for the shoulder press. Find a spot that works for you, good resistance, good. Good, remember, keep some tension on that shoulder. We're not dropping all the way down, up. And then you're gonna stop when your arm's kind of like a goalpost shape. Belly nice and tight. Good. Almost there, a few more seconds. Good, and stop. Okay, we're on to another set. So this one is kind of 2 exercises in one, so reverse lunge with a rear fly. Now if you have a band like this with handles, I like to put my hands through. If you have a TheraBand that doesn't have handles, then it doesn't matter. You're gonna grab, the closer your hands are, the harder it's gonna be, so you'll have to kind of adjust. What you're gonna do first is a reverse lunge, so that front knee is behind the toe. Stand it up, keep the arms straight. Rear fly, so the band comes towards the chest. Arms are straight, you're squeezing the backs of the shoulders, just like that. Now, you'll have to adjust. I found it was a bit hard where I was holding my hands, so I'm widening them a little bit. So pick a resistance that works, and you want to make sure you're not arching your back when you do that. So band is out. Oh, I better hit my timer. Go ahead. Reverse lunge, stand up, pull. Nice straight arms. You should feel this in the backs of the shoulder blades. Good for those posture muscles. Good pull. Good. Squeeze. Belly nice and tight. We're almost there. Good, and stop. Exercise 2, you're gonna stand on your band again. You will need the handles this time. Cross them. Knuckles point out, so palms are in. All you're gonna do is you're gonna pull straight up, so the elbows go straight out. You're not ripping the band apart, you're just coming straight up. Elbows will automatically go out to the sides. And go. Straight up. Another shoulder exercise. Good. Slight bend in those knees, belly is nice and tight. Good. Straight up. Elbows will go out. A few more seconds. And stop. Okay, we're gonna go back to the reverse lunge, rear fly. So hands through the handles if you have one of these bands. Pick your distance here, and you're gonna step back nice and tall and pull. Switching legs each time. Squeeze. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Almost there. Oh, and stop. Okay, back to the upright row. So you're standing on your band. You're gonna cross those handles. Now, if this is too hard, you can also have one foot on the band and do it that way. If you find it's getting too hard to keep your form, you can take a foot off. And go. Straight up. Good. Remember to have a slight bend in those knees. Don't lock them out. Couple more seconds. And stop. Okay, we're on to our next set. We are going to do, so set number 1 is biceps. So again, you can have both feet on, or arms are getting tired, just have one foot on. Make it a little bit easier. Now you're gonna be on the band, you're gonna turn your palms out, elbows are tucked in, you're gonna curl all the way up, all the way down. If it's too hard and you can't quite, if you're having to do this, maybe take a foot off, make it a little bit easier. The last 10 seconds, I'm gonna say pulse, and you're just gonna pulse like that. And go. Up. Again, core is tight, you're not swinging. You want to use the biceps. Keep the elbows tucked in, close to the body, slight bend in the knees. Good. All the way down, all the way up. And we're going to pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Almost there. Good. And stop. Exercise 2 is a tricep exercise. So you're going to take one side underhand, other overhand. Underhand, bring it straight up. You're just resting it here at the chest. Other side, elbow is tucked in, your hand is overhand. To make it harder, you're going to grab higher up. Easier is lower down. So you're going to have to figure out where is good for you. Elbow in, and all you're going to do, straighten that arm and back up. The elbow doesn't leave the body, and then we'll do the other arm on round. And go ahead. Stand sideways so you can see me. Remember, if you want to make it harder, grab it higher up. If you want to make it easier, just grab it a little further down. And straighten. Make sure you're doing a full extension. You want to have a little squeeze at the bottom there. More seconds here. And stop. We're going to go back to our bicep curls. So standing on the band, 1 or 2 feet. Pick your option. And go all the way up, all the way down. Belly's nice and tight. And we're going to pulse. Little pulses here. Elbows are tucked in. Almost there. And stop. Okay, other tricep, other side. So the other side is underhand, resting at the chest. Tuck that other elbow in. And go. Again, anything unilateral, you might find one side is easier than the other. Fully straighten that arm all the way down. Ten more seconds. Okay, last set. We have 2 more exercises to do. I'm just going to pull my mat over for this one. So you may need a mat at home if you're on a hard surface. I'm going to lay this way so you can see me. Okay, so you're going to be on your belly, feet out in a V kind of. You're going to have your band in front of you, shoulder width apart. You're going to inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to come up into a Superman. You're going to do a lat pull. Elbows go straight back and lower. So we're going to repeat that. If you don't like that for any reason, it doesn't feel good, you can always stick with a Superman or Superman and just without a band. You can do the movement without the band if your band is a little heavy for that, or you just don't like that. Okay, get ready. Go. Squeeze the glutes, elbows to back pocket. And down. Squeeze. And good, we're almost there. And stop. Okay, next exercise. Now this one you can do on your mat, or if you have something at home that you can wrap your band around, that works too. I'll wrap it around my feet. Now I find using the handles, there's not enough tension, so I'm going to grab further down my band there. Sitting nice and tall, my knees have a slight bend in them, and you're going to row. Elbows go straight back. Go ahead. Straight back. Good. Make sure those knees aren't locked. Sitting nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears. Good. Good. Straight back, give it a little squeeze. Almost there. And stop. Okay, 1 more of each and then you're done. So back onto your belly, your band. You're going to grab shoulder width apart, Superman lat pull. And go. Squeeze. Pull that belly away from the mat, belly button up to your spine. You're almost there. And stop. Good. Seated row. This time I'll face this way so you can just see what I look like from the side. Band around the feet. Grab your band, make sure you have enough resistance there, and go. Good. Squeezing nice and tall. You want to make sure those shoulders aren't coming up towards the ears, they're staying down. Good. Good, 10 seconds. And stop. Good. Put your band down. We'll do a quick stretch. So since we're already on the ground, we'll lie down, plant your right foot. Left leg comes up. Grab a hold above or below the knee. Slight pull towards the body. Circle that ankle. Switch direction. Good. Point and flex. Take that leg, cross it over top of your other leg, and pull through. Release, plant that left foot, right leg comes up, grab a hold, slight pull towards the body, and circle that ankle. Other direction. Point and flex. Good. Take that leg, cross it over top of your other leg, and pull through. Good, and release. You're going to roll onto one side. Have your head just under your hand there. Top leg, grab a hold of those shoelaces, knees together, tilt that pelvis forward. You can bend that elbow a little more if you need more of a stretch. Release, and you're going to flip over to the other side. I'll go this way. Top leg, grab a hold of those shoelaces, knees together, belly tight. Good, release. We're slowly going to come up to standing. So make sure you're not feeling lightheaded or anything. Stand up, arms out into a W, push back. Down and back, those biceps. Arms up, walk those fingers down your back. And release. Big inhale, up to the toes and lower. Thanks for joining us today. Stay healthy, wash your hands. Isolation recreation.